Surprise, motherfucker! It's your homeboy Quetzalcoatl, hitting you up with another motherfucking video. Now today we're going to talk about the Paulie Malignaggi versus Pablo Cesar Cano fight that's coming up. It's going to be on the undercard of the Erik Morales versus Danny Garcia fight that's going down October 20th. As you already know, if you've checked out my past motherfucking videos, you will know that I've already given you my prediction on the Danny Garcia versus Erik Morales fight. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my motherfucking prediction for the Paulie Malignaggi versus Pablo Cesar Cano back. That's finna go motherfucking down. Now, start off, I'll talk about both fighters a little bit. Paulie Malignaggi, of course, won the WBA welterweight title in his last fight. This will be his first defense of that title. Paulie Malignaggi has some bad losses on his record. As you've seen in the past with Amir Khan, who TKO'd him, Ricky Hatton, who did the same, and Cotto, who won by unanimous decision but dominated him the entire fight. He does have a loss to Juan Diaz as well, but he was able to avenge that loss and beat Juan Diaz by decision in their rematch. Malignaggi has some good technical skills. He's more technical. He's more of a technical boxer than anything else. He has a record of 31 wins and 4 losses. He only has 7 knockouts on his resume. So you already know Paulie Malignaggi is not a huge puncher. He doesn't have heavy hands. And ironically, you know, he's had a lot of hand problems. Could that have attributed to the low amount of knockouts? You know, I don't know, but I know that hand problems have haunted Paulie Malignaggi basically his entire motherfucking career. He is a marketable fighter. You know, he has a good personality for television. He's an Italian fighter, which you don't see very many Italian fighters in the spotlight at this moment. So he also brings a different fan base for promoters who are promoting Paulie Malignaggi, and for the most part, his entire career, he's been able to earn a substantial, you know, not Floyd Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao type motherfucking money, but you know, he's been able to make a good amount of money for himself because of those factors. He has very good boxing ability, and I feel that will help him in this fight versus Pablo Cesar Cano. Pablo Cesar Cano, very young fighter, only 23 years old, has a record of 25 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. That loss, of course, was in his biggest fight versus Erik Morales, which was a very motherfucking exciting fight. Erik Morales is one of my favorite fighters of this generation, probably my favorite fighter of this generation. And it was sad as fuck seeing him lose, you know, the way he did when he was out of his prime and shit. And in this fight, you know, I was worried as a motherfucker in the beginning because, you know, Pablo Cesar Cano, you know, he was swinging them things on motherfucking Erik Morales and shit. And Erik Morales, you know, looked a little bothered in the beginning, but I believe in the 5th round, Cano got a huge motherfucking cut. And that motherfucker, he just started leaking and shit. And that cut really bothered Pablo Cesar Cano, who in his first big fight, you know, had a huge gash, and I think that got to his head and it affected him mentally, and he was never the same after that round. He was stopped, I believe, after the 10th round ended. His corner was going to stop the fight initially in that round, but the bell ended up ringing, and they ended up just stopping the fight right after. He didn't take a big beating in that fight, so I think that was a good learning experience. You know, that was a bad loss for him, but at the same time, he did not take a huge beating in that fight to where he would never be the same again. Although he does have a record of 25 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw, that looks good on paper, but at the same time, you know, he's fought subpar competition, so you can't really take that record at face value. My prediction for this fight, I believe Paulie Malignaggi is going to win a unanimous decision. I think that his technical ability is going to give a lot of problems to Cesar Cano, who's pretty much a brawler. He's going to be able to outbox him for all 12 rounds. Even though my prediction is that Paulie Malignaggi will win, I'm of course going to root for Pablo Cesar Cano because I'm a Mexican and I'm a proud motherfucking Mexican. You know, Cano is the underdog, so, you know, I'm going to be rooting like a motherfucker while I'm sipping down on my motherfucking Coronas or Bud Lights, you know, whatever the fuck I'm getting drunk on this shit. And, you know, Paulie Malignaggi, if he wins, you know, I can't hate on him, you know what I'm saying? He's been in this sport for a while. Right now, I think he's like in the final stages of his career. I wouldn't put him in with an elite 147 pounder because he's not a natural welterweight. But hey, you know, he's doing his thing. You know, he's a world champion right now, and he's a humble motherfucker. You know, when I met him and shit, you know, straight down to earth motherfucker, chopped it up with him for, you know, for a cool minute. And, you know, I never got the impression that he was like this stuck-up motherfucker. You know, he never gave me that. And I used to train at the Wildcard gym, and there was a time where Paulie Malignaggi was actually training there, and I got to see him spar. I got to see him, you know, hit the heavy bags, speed bags. I got to see him train like right there, right in fucking front of me. You know what I'm saying? I was hitting the fucking double M bag right next to him and shit. So, I mean, he has really, really good boxing ability on top of all that shit. But, you know, it's Viva Mexico, motherfucker. So, we'll just see what happens, man. Like I said, my prediction is Paulie Malignaggi. But, you know, we rooting for the motherfucking Mexicans. This is your homeboy Quetzalcoatl signing the fuck on now.